which will take place on December the 13th, live on iPay-per-view. It will be from the Flyers Skate Zone, which is located at 601 Lawn Oak Road in, I hope I get this city pronounced correctly, Voorhees, New Jersey, at 7:30 p.m. bell time. And you are included in the card. You got a match coming up. You're going up against Rich Swann. Talk a little bit about the rivalry and what has led to the matchup for Cage of Death.
I wouldn't necessarily put it as a rivalry as much as I would perhaps maybe a slight abandonment. When I first started wrestling about 5 years ago, Rich Swann was making a name for himself in the Combat Zone then, and he drove me and my tag team at the time, Brett Pfeiffer, around wherever he went. He's probably the leading reason I'm in Combat Zone Wrestling, and he took me everywhere he could go. He was definitely one of my best friends. He was a true friend. And then once he got his shining moment, he went and left. And he went to Japan and Europe, and, good for him. But now I'm here. Now I'm up the ranks, and now Combat Zone is my home, and I'm here to stay. And it's not so much a rivalry, like I said, as much as it is a chance to show what my revelation is about. My revelation is almost like the misfits of the Combat Zone. You have Nate and Dave, who weren't appreciated as a tag team, weren't being used, and I saw them as potential, and I gave them a spot in my group. You have Dewey, who was alongside me, cast out of the campaign by Drew Gulak, and I am more than happy to have him manage me through my times in the Combat Zone. He's a manager of champions. He has managed some of the great. And really, it's just everyone wants to criticize how I've been getting my wins and how I've been competing in the Combat Zone the past 6 months. And Rich Swann is a little bit of it's to settle an old score for me and show that I'm better than him. And it's also a chance to finally show the Combat Zone once and for all that I haven't been getting the easy matches. I haven't been taking the easy way out. Rich Swann is going to be my first example that I am exactly what I say I am, and I am the best that the Combat Zone has to offer as an all-around performer.
Well, let me just say, of all the matches that I read in the card, that's definitely looks like it has show stealer written all over it. And considering how incredible this company is and the matches and things like that, now obviously you in the match, you're going up against your opponent, and you wanna, you wanna pull the best match you can possibly can. Do you get the sense that for Combat Zone Wrestling, regardless who on the card, that you strive not just to be the best you can be, but strive to have the best match in the card as possible?
Could you repeat that one more time for me? I broke up for a sec. Sorry about that.
Okay, as I was saying, there's a lot of competitiveness as it pertains to the wrestling. What I'm asking is, do you see do you see Combat Zone Wrestling? Do you see try to not only put the best performance as possible, but try to pull the best match that you can, regardless of who your opponent may be?
Oh, definitely. Whenever you have it's a locker room full of guys who are hungry to make it not only in Combat Zone but everywhere in the world. And when you have a bunch of hungry talent, no matter how long they've been in the game, you're going to have the best matches because everybody wants to come back and say, "We'll follow that." Now, some people are going to do it. Some people are going to fail. Some people, they're not putting a spot on the card to have that show stealer, but I definitely feel like I am. And I'm very confident in my ability to prove that whether it's on the microphone, it's in the back, or it's in the ring, I am one of the very best that the Combat Zone has to offer. So and I'm not the only person to think that. Everybody's free to think that for themselves. I think that for myself. I just know I can back it up. And it's definitely a competitive locker room, but in a good way. It's a family, but I wouldn't include myself in the family. Me and my revelation, we're head and shoulders above, and that's what I plan on using Cage of Death for. I'm going to use that as a catapult. I'm going to use that as a podium, and I'm going to use that as a stepping off point. And Cage of Death, everybody's going to see why I don't just talk the talk, I walk the walk.
Again, you can be on the lookout for CZW Cage of Death coming to you on Saturday, December 13th. Now, for those that are unable to watch it in person, you can watch it on iPay-per-view. You can go to their website, Combat Zone Wrestling, for all the details and tickets for those that are in the New Jersey area. You can go to czwrestling.storeenvy.com. That's for all those that plans to attend in person. I've seen some of this action just, on YouTube, etc. It is incredible stuff. It is highly recommended that if you ain't got nothing to do on Saturday, December 13th, please support this product. Check out Combat Zone Wrestling and check out this man by the name of Alexander James going up against Rich Swann. Now, outside of your match, Alexander, what are the match you looking forward to seeing? We got the world titles on the line. There's a Wire Championship match. Norman Smiley, a lot of people know, a legend from WCW past. Caleb Conley is also going to be there as well. But outside of your match, what is the match you looking forward to see as a fan?
There's two other matches I'm heavily invested in. That is one, the Wire title match between Shane Strickland and Joe Gacy. I don't like Joe Gacy. I don't like who he is. I don't like what he represents. I just don't like him. Me and him have had altercations in the past. It's clearly visible. You can see it on social media. You can see it on our Facebooks. You can see it on YouTube. You can see it on any CZW show. When we meet eyes, we do not like each other. And he seems to be a choke artist on the big stage. Every time a match is at its highest, most important, he doesn't get the job done. And I personally don't want to see him do that come Cage of Death either. I think Shane Strickland is a better competitor, and I want to see Shane Strickland succeed. Also, I take a great deal of interest in the main event, the Cage of Death for the World Championship, as my former mentor, almost a father figure, Drew Gulak, is in the main event competing for the world title, and I have had altercations with him and the Fifth Busick, member of the Front, and Niles Young. I've never really had a problem with Black G's, but I definitely have a heavy interest in the outcome of Cage of Death, and I will be looking very closely and seeing who comes out on top. I'm extremely looking forward to seeing Drew Gulak's performance in the Cage of Death and what they may or may not do to him.
For those just tuning in, you're listening to Triple Threat Wrestling Radio right here on TMV Cafe. I'm joined with Alexander James. He's got a big match coming up on the 13th of December. It is called Cage of Death, courtesy of Combat Zone Wrestling. It's going to be taking place at the 13th of December. It will be a nice early Christmas gift for all you wrestling fans. So CCW getting into the holiday spirit with a twist, if you will. Now, Alexander, outside of this big event, what are some other upcoming wrestling shows, appearances you would like to promote?
November 29th in Hanover, Pennsylvania. I will be competing in my fourth Battle of Hanover tournament. It is that company itself is very special to me, Groundbreaking Wrestling, which you can find more information for that at gbwrestling.com. Very big tournament, has some great talent. Devin Moore will be there, Sozia will be there, I will be there, Greg Excellent will be there. CBW is kind of like the little train that could. It's a slow promotion that no one gave a chance, and it's doing good things, and it's always a solid product. I have that coming up. December 6th, I will be at WXWC4 in Allentown, Pennsylvania for Wild Samoan Samu. That is definitely a great product. I couldn't speak higher enough of it. Then, of course, December 13th is Cage of Death, which got my sights on, and then got some got a couple open dates, but they're starting to fill up quickly. Also, I'll be returning to DCW, Dynamite Championship Wrestling in Delaware coming up, SWA, Suffolk Wrestling Association in Deer Park, New York coming up. I will be returning to Primal Conflict Wrestling in Harpers Ferry, West Virginia coming up. So I have a pretty busy schedule. It's, if anyone wants to keep up to date with it, you can go to ProWrestlingRevelation.com. That's my official website. And my Twitter at AlexanderJPro.
That's awesome, man. And by all means, to all the fans out there, obviously you like to watch wrestling that's on TV. But without the indie wrestling industry, there is no pro wrestling. That being said, please promote, please support your local wrestling shows that is out there. Uh, be there, attend, buy ticket, do what you gotta do, spread the word, and let's show that indie wrestling still is as big as it can be, because who knows, the wrestler that you see, at the local shows, they could be the next big superstar. You don't even know it. So by all means, go out and support these indie shows. Support Alexander James and his upcoming events, especially CZW. Now, with the year winding down, everybody is looking forward to the year 2015. That being said, what are some goals you like to set as we enter the new year?
By some of the goals I would like to have set and accomplished, I would like to win my first heavyweight title. I've won a lot of titles in my short career so far. I've yet to hold a big one. That's definitely one. I want to go overseas at some point in 2015. I think I'm definitely close to that. I would love to especially get over to Japan. That's definitely a big goal and dream of mine. And I would like to break this little plateau, man. I would definitely want to perform on a higher, I wouldn't say a high level, because Combat Zone is one of the higher upmost levels you can get, but I definitely want to get more around the country, maybe some higher profile matches, some higher profile situations, try to work my way into just making a real good, solid living at this. So whatever comes with it, whether it's traveling the world, whether it's being on television once every couple weeks, whatever it takes.
Well, Alexander, it was great chatting with you. Well, thank you for being on the show this evening. And you've been around for a few years, but it looks like you're definitely making a name for yourself. And congratulations on what you've been able to accomplish thus far. And continued success as you get ready for the 13th of December and moving forward and entering the new year. Again, thank you for being on the show and continued success, man.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. And if anyone wants to keep up to date with me, I'm on Twitter at AlexanderJPro. My website is ProWrestlingRevelation.com, and any of my official T-shirts are available at ProWrestlingTees.com/AlexanderJames.
Oh, I'm definitely going to have to give me one of those shirts, man. That's for sure. So
Appreciate
I'll
it.
probably be your first Kentucky fan to be wearing that on the indie show. That's for sure.
I appreciate it.
All right, man. Well, you have a great weekend. Have a great night, man. Oh, and since this is the show before Thanksgiving, have a happy Thanksgiving as well, man.
Thank you.